So how does this process, get going? Well, these policy entrepreneurs, they use different reform strategies. And this may be one of the major contributions of this book. So I identified 3 types of reform strategies. The first kind I call Popperian strategies, from Karl Popper, world famous political philosopher, scientific theorist, who is famous for his books about the open society and its enemies, but also about his theories about falsifications as a way to approaching truth. Those kind of strategies, they are based on facts, on research, public discussions, incremental reforms. That's a standard way for academics, for most people to think. That's how you promote reforms. You argue, you present new facts, you do new research, you publish things, you participate in public discussion. That's a very important type of strategy that is necessary, I think, to promote reforms. But it's not enough. You also need what I call Konian strategies. It comes from Thomas Kuhn and his famous book about scientific revolution, where he argues that in science, people tend to get stuck within scientific paradigms where they understand things in a certain way, but then at certain moments there may be kind of scientific revolutions where a new scientific paradigm arises. The same thing is true for politics. So how do these paradigmatic changes occur? Well, not through facts and public discussion, but by framing, by narratives, by all kinds of really striking things that makes people open up their eyes and see things from a different perspective. This is a different type of strategy that is equally important to promote reforms that the policy entrepreneurs use and should use. The third, perhaps more controversial strategy is what I call Machiavellian strategy. And Niccolo Machiavelli, as you all know, worked in the 16th century in Italy, and people think that those kind of policies may not be the kind of policies you should use. But in fact, Machiavellian strategies are essential to explain and to promote institutional change. It's a lot about hiding the consequences, perhaps not really being open about the reforms you're doing, to blame others for the effects of the reforms, because reforms have costs in the short run, and split the opposition and so on and so forth. It turns out, in fact, that in this book, where I studied Sweden and Australia over 25 years, and they liberalized the societies in a sustainable way, these kinds of Machiavellian strategies were the most important ones to promote reforms. But I believe that these Konian reforms of changing the perspective about things, that's perhaps the most important type of strategy that policy entrepreneurs can use and should use to promote classical liberal reforms.